There's hope for my city. We are the chosen ones. We are the light, reflecting His only Son.
All right, I'm excited to be here today we have some of the leadership from South Waco Elementary. I'm excited, man. We got Principal Atnip and we have Secretary Dianna. So glad you guys are here with us today. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Principal Atnip.
So I grew up in the Waco area. I love it here. I went to Baylor, met my husband there. We moved up to the Dallas area for a few years after I graduated Baylor, and that's where my teaching experience is. And then we came back down here to be closer to my family, and I got my first leadership job as an instructional specialist at Kendrick Elementary under the leadership of Isabel Lozano, who is absolutely amazing.
Shout out to Principal Isabel over there.
Yes. Now she's Councilwoman Lozano too. She is truly an incredible person and still mentors me to this day. So she kind of mentored me and shepherded me, and then went into an assistant principalship, and now this will be my second year at South Waco Elementary as the principal, and we're doing amazing things.
Awesome. And then introduce who you have with us here.
This is my awesome secretary, Dianna. She's the real boss. That's what I tell everybody. She runs the building. I tell her all of my crazy ideas, and she's like, "Okay, we'll do it."
We do.
And we do.
We find the monies. We find whatever
Awesome.
she doesn't know the word no.
I don't.
I've never told her no.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, we can do that.
So before we move forward, tell us a little bit about yourself, if you will.
My name is Dianna. Again, Dianna Juarez. I'm from the Waco area, South Waco at that. I moved, I grew up in South Waco until 1990. Then we moved out to the Belmead area. Graduated from La Vega in 93. And I started working for Waco ISD in 93, August of 93. And I've been there since. And this is going to be, 32nd year in Waco ISD.
Wow. How long at South Waco Elementary?
South Waco, we moved over there, I want to say in 2012, when they shut down Saw Ross. I worked at Saw Ross since 93 till 2012.
Wow, that's a lot of kids.
A lot of kids. I know there are kids now that come, and they were kids when I was at Saw Ross, so they're my grand students, I guess.
Principal Atnip, you were telling off camera. We had a conversation about you in Dallas. Can you remind me? We were talking about that. I thought it was fascinating. You say you were in Dallas, but can you tell us what school and what was it like over there?
Yeah, so I was in the kind of West Mesquite, Pleasant Grove sort of area. I interned down here at Bells Hill. And so I, graduated, and I was fresh out of college, super excited, ready for all the kids to be ready to learn from me. And so I went and I got a job there teaching 4th grade, and it was eye-opening. It's a lot of the things that my kids in my classroom went through, I hadn't experienced. And I'm very honest about that. I don't try to make myself out to be something that I'm not. I was, as a baby teacher, I was shocked, and there was a lot of behaviors. There was a lot of things that I had never dealt with before. And we had kids in the classroom that, were joining gangs and that kind of thing. And I just had never experienced it at that young age. And so for me, it was really scary at first, but then I think my passion grew there, and that first group of kids that I taught, they're gonna, I think they graduated last year, and it's truly incredible to see where they are, because I have a lot of their parents on social media, so I get to cheer them on from the sidelines. But it was really eye-opening for me, and it also awakened a passion in me that I didn't know was there. You know, I went to one of my kiddos' football games, I was telling you, and I came out and my car was on blocks. They had taken my tires.
Oh.
So
Oh, wow.
So it was very different for me, and again, not something that I ever, even going into education, saw myself doing or working in, and I just happened to end up there, and I loved it. And not from a perspective of like, oh, I get to help these kids, more from a perspective of like, oh my gosh, like these kids are awesome. Like they have experiences that I couldn't even like dream of having, both positive and negative, and it's made them so strong and resilient, and like they don't give up. Those babies that I taught, their families, from all just the whole experience teaching in that classroom. And then I moved up to 6th grade as well, and I taught some 6th grade RLA. That was fun too. I learned a whole lot more, and they helped me as a person a whole lot more than I think I helped them. But I just fell in love with it. And for me, my mom taught for 37 years. She's a 6th grade teacher, and I grew up being with her in the weekends, at night in the classroom, like being a teacher's kid. And I was like, there is no way, I will never do this. She does not make enough money, and I see how hard she works. And so when I went into Baylor, I actually really wanted to be like a broadcast journalist. That was my goal.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And so we actually lost our home in the West explosion. And so, in I believe 2013. And so whenever that happened, kind of a key turning point in my life when I really realized what my mission and purpose was one of my mom's students that she had in 6th grade wrote us a letter and sent us, I think it was like $1,000. Like it was a good amount. And the letter just kind of detailed how when she taught him, she like really took him under her wing. One day, like he didn't have lunch. He didn't want to get the peanut butter sandwich that you have to get when you don't have lunch money. And so she had bought him lunch. And he was basically just saying, this is me repaying you for that. And so when I saw that, while I was at Baylor, I was like, okay, it's not about the money. Like it's not about the hours. It's about you can truly impact and change people's lives in a way that not a whole lot of other professions can. And so that's when I switched my major to education. And my mom at first was like, Amy, please stay in your other major. But I really wanted to do it. And so I switched over and have found like just the passion of my life in it, and a true mission work, true connection. And I love it. I haven't looked back since.
Wow. Thanks for sharing. Yep. You know, I remember the day I met you, I had made a contact with Dr. Kincannon, and well, she came on here previously before, and that was an awesome interview. But I told her that I was on my way to South Waco Elementary. I said, I don't know who's over there. I said, but God just put it in my heart to just go over there and reach out. And she was super excited. She goes, oh my gosh, since I hired her, she's a great person. She goes, I'm excited because we just got her to go over there to South Waco. She's going to do a great job. She's going to turn that thing around. You're going to love her. And I was like, okay, great. Well, so I remember going and meeting with you, and that was a great conversation that we had, and it was pretty neat. Could you tell us about when you got invited to go to South Waco Elementary? What was that like? What was maybe the perception about that? Like, just to kind of take us on a tour on what that whole thing was.
Yeah, for sure. So the previous principal had a baby. Mm-hmm. So they had had the they had been without a, I guess, consistent leadership team for pretty much the whole year, the year before I came. And so that was to no fault of anyone's. It's the AP got promoted and the principal had a baby and later in the year. And so when I came in, a lot of people asked me why there? Why now? South Waco, you ask anyone that has talked to me about it, I know what historically our reputation has been. And that's been that, we have a lot of behavior. It's not the best place to be. It's not the best place to teach. Like, that has historically been the narrative about this campus. And so when I took the job, which I accepted without hesitation, whenever Dr. Kincannon interviewed me, she asked me where I wanted to go because there were a couple of principalships open. I said, I want to go to South Waco. That's where I want to be. I don't want to be anywhere else. That's where I want to be. And just knowing what I know now, I think if we don't tell our story, other people tell it for us. And a lot of times, just by human nature, we're living in a fallen world. People are going to tell the bad stuff.
Yeah.
And, in any school across the nation, there's bad stuff happening. It's really on the inside, how we're communicating about what we're doing and how we're helping kids, how we're helping the community. And so, it was a failing campus. It was, and, the previous from 22-23 data just got released. It's an F. We've had, a newspaper article written about us. We're kind of, it can be really challenging when you work in the work that we do and you show up every single day. Like, my teachers and my staff show up every single day and pour that blood, sweat, and tears. And our kids too, because our babies show up and they work hard. Like, they work so hard. And it's really hard whenever the only narrative, and I'm not even necessarily going to say that it's all untrue, because, according to the accountability system, we are an F. But when the narrative is constantly spun that you are something, and then you go into the school every day and it's not that. We love each other. We have a really good time. We host dances. We have, just truly, I can list on, and our staff are so amazing. And one thing I knew when I took over the campus, that before I could even touch academics, I had to attack the campus culture and and protect it and make sure that it was positive, and that we on the inside were talking positively about our campus and our kids, that we were starting to change the narrative inside the community about our campus and what we do. and that our kids were proud to go to South Waco, and they could tell the story of what was happening in our building. And so that was really important. And in turn, also, I knew that like I had to start retaining my staff, meaning I had to keep my staff that I had the year before in the building. Because when you have that constant turnover of staff, which happens a lot, and it had been, you can speak to that.
Yes, it has been every year since I've been there, a big turnaround. This is the first year.
Okay.
My goodness. The summer has been easy. Don't tell everyone, but the summer has been easy because we're not having to hire or, set up interviews, get some, I think we would hired, 3 people?
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
And that is, since I've been there, it's always been a big turnaround. And so I'm looking very forward to this year. It's going to be awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, it's cool. We already
and
know
then we're
everybody's
getting
name.
collaboration with Alta Vista.
Yes.
We met them, and they've seemed so nice. She hosted a little party for them. Well, not a party, but in our library, a little get-together.
Yeah.
And most of them came over, and it was nice to have them there.
Well, I believe that what is celebrated is repeated, and so we want to talk about some things that I think is worthy to be celebrated because we want it repeated.
Yeah.
In this life, it never fails. In every person's life, I don't care how much education you have or lack thereof or whatever the case may be. In this life, there's always room for improvement.
Yeah.
Whether it's in your marriage, whether it's in your relationships that you have, your work, your career path. There's always room for improvement in yourself, in your health. There's always room for improvement. And I love that there has been opportunities before you to improve because that's the way life is. There's always going to be something to improve in. And you've taken that opportunity, those challenges that come with that opportunity, and there have been great things as a result to everyone stacking hands, puzzling in, and creating and curating an environment where people feel like they're a part of something that actually matters, and that's telling because of the results that are now before us. Can you talk about Secretary Dianna? Could you talk about your experience of her coming on board? What are some of those things that nobody really gets to see, but you do, that contribute to those things that we can celebrate?
Well, when she first came in, I remember she came in just happy, just hair bouncing all over the place. She had the South Waco shirt on that I didn't have, and I'm like, where did she get that? Well, she had it made, or you and I was like, I don't have that South Waco shirt because I'm, everything that comes out South Waco, I have. And so she came in so happy, so positive. She walked to the front. She introduced herself. At that time, we were in the cafeteria. The stage was. She went right straight up to the stage. I thought she was actually going to jump off to get on the stage and jump off. I mean, she was that happy of being there, and that made everyone who was leaving or not, or those who decided to stay, you could tell that they were. This is the right place for me. This is where I'm going to be. This is where I'm going to stay.
Wow!
Because she brought that positive energy,
and
she's. I don't know if I can say it, bougie in a way that I.
We like to have a good time.
Yes. Yeah. It has just little simple small things that she's made, I guess, more than what they are. It could be something. It could be in a small little box where she puts it together and it's
done in excellence.
Yes. Yes, I look at it and I'm like, how do you do that?
Wow.
It amazes me, but that's just the type of person she is. She gets things done in a good, fun way.
Wow. So let's start with I want to continue with that question. What are some of the things that you've noticed that's maybe a different approach towards the faculty, the staff?
Smiles.
Yeah.
I see smiles all the time.
Yeah.
When they're coming in, they're smiling.
Okay.
Staff and students.
And the students.
Where's the principal? There's the principal. Because she was, towards the end there, she was outside, directing traffic, and so when she wasn't there, they noticed. Is Miss Atnip going to be here today?
Oh wow!
She's going to be here today.
Well, I remember when I
But
first.
smiles, I would say smiles.
Yeah, I would agree. I want to attest to that because I remember when I first went in there, I'm like, what am you know? I know there's things that we can do to contribute to try to see how we can help out, but it's not every day that I just walk into an elementary school. So I was in there like, what am I doing? I was second guessing myself. I don't know what. Let's see what we can do here. And I was met with a joy, real joy, because there's times where somebody can just be bouncing off the walls, and at some point, sometimes it can be awkward for me, but it wasn't. It was just a genuine beam of joy that was pleasant to receive, and I was like, oh, okay, this is different. And she was genuinely excited, and I remember she was telling me that she says, well, let's go into this place. She goes, well, it was my office. She says, my office now is out here in the hallways with my staff and the kids. She goes, that's where my office is at. She goes, this is just a place we can just sit and meet. And I was like, oh, okay. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes. Her first year, she did have an office. It was in the back. Mm-hmm. It was a huge. It was the most. I think the ugliest room in the building.
Yeah.
But I said, okay, if you want this, that's fine. You can. I don't know how you're gonna make this look, but okay. Sure enough, she brightened that room up. It was inviting. Her office, real inviting. Didn't like. I think I even named it Little Atnip Avenue right there because it was, going in there was just, it was relaxed. It was a relaxed place to go. Yeah. It's like you could go in there and tell her anything. Yeah. And I think that's what our staff sees now. They can go in and talk to her about anything, and she listens. And how you say, was that transparent? Is that?
I try to be, yeah.
And, and gives great feedback. Usually you leave happy, or at least I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, but
yeah. No, Principal Atnip, can you talk about that approach?
Yeah. So I just genuinely love what I do, and that comes from just walking in faith and walking in purpose and being willing to not flinch at things that others would run away from because I know where I'm supposed to be and it's here. And so I love my students. I love my staff. I love my building. I love Dianna. I genuinely am this joyful. And I read a book recently and it talked about how happiness is situational, but joy is a choice. So even when I'm not happy, like there are days that, oh my gosh, the work is so hard. And, I choose to be joyful that I get to be in it. And I get the honor to be at the helm of a ship that has such incredible people on it as South Waco does. Our team is truly incredible, the work they do with kids. And it brings me so much joy knowing that I get to serve that our community, our babies, and our teachers. And I genuinely am happy to be there every day. I love seeing my staff. I have a little cart that I roll around with that I decorated. It's all pink. That I try to work from most of the time because I want them to see me in the hall. I want them to say hi. If a teacher is having a moment, I want to go in and be like, hey, take a second, go get a Sonic drink. I got it. I would rather see the issues than hear about them. So being in the building is a priority. And for my team, it's this year, I'm really solidifying that it's a priority for my leadership team too. My assistant principals, my ISs, we've got to be visible. They've got to know we're there. They've got to know our names. They've got to know what we do, and they've got to know that if something's wrong, they can ask us for help. And so it's a genuine joy, a genuine love of what I do, and a genuine specific love for my campus and what I get to do at South Waco.
Wow.
Yeah.
What were early on, just starting off, what were some of the visible challenges that were before you? What were some of the biggest ones for you?
So discipline was definitely one of the biggest challenges that we saw when I came in. When I came into the campus, we had really high numbers of office referrals, really high numbers. And yeah. And so this year, or this past year, my staff we were able to decrease that by 68%. And
wow, that's a big deal.
Yeah. And we actually reduced our ISS rate by 78%, which is huge because if you think about, not every referral ends up in ISS or OSS where we're taking children out of the classroom. But when it does, and you think about the fact that we're in the news for being an F, a kid cannot learn how to read if they're not in the classroom. But a kid also can't be in the classroom if they have extremely unregulated behavior. So when I look at that significant decrease in suspension, the behavior team on our campus has really, the year before it started and then last year, I really saw it flourish. And this year I just got out of a training with them. They're like on fire, excited. I think we've got the right people on that team this year specifically. Like they are pumped. But that proactive approach of we're not waiting for something to blow up or a teacher to have to call to have a kid removed. We are there in the building all the time, helping and being there before that happens so that we can support a kid through something before it's to a point where we have to remove them from the classroom. And that's been our big push across Waco ISD, is that really putting that emergent tree system in place. That's the company we're going through. And it's that tier 1 system of every classroom. We have a specific way that teachers acknowledge students doing the right thing, because most kids, we know, if you tell them, if you say, hey, good job, you're doing that right, they will keep doing it. So we've got really specific systems for acknowledgement, and we celebrate acknowledgement. We've got specific ways that we correct behavior. Every single morning and every single time kids go back into the classroom, like after lunch, the teacher is at the door greeting them, checking in with them. So just those 3 practices alone in every classroom reduce a lot of those behaviors that can cause suspensions. Also, going back to teacher retention, for me, being fully staffed is also critical for ensuring that behavior runs smoothly, because you have to think about, if we don't have a teacher in a classroom, as a principal, those babies are still coming to school. So I've got the option of, do I pull another staff member, which means that whatever system that staff member was running, whether it be behavior, interventions, whatever it was, isn't getting done because they're covering that classroom. Or we have to raise the class sizes if we have to put those kids in other classes, which is also a recipe for potentially more disruptions. So that retention piece and that being fully staffed piece is another core part that we do, and we try to make sure we retain our staff from year to year, because then we're not having to reteach, like, for example, the acknowledgement systems and all of those pieces. They're just kind of naturally built in because we're carrying over to the next year. So really, really incredible work around that and keeping kids in the classroom.
Thank you. Thank you for all that you do and all that y'all do and have been doing. I mean, you guys are making a difference. I mean, those are huge numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful that that's happening there at South Waco Elementary. Well, one of the things that I've learned by just conversating is you guys put together or have put together or are putting together a system now to aid those teachers that are with all their hearts are there to do a job, and they do it because they love the kids, they love what they do, and because we know that they love the kids and they love what they do, naturally teachers, and I've heard this all across the nation, with anyone that's really a teacher that loves doing what they do, they're gonna come out of pocket. It's just natural to do when they got a natural love for what they do and for who they're doing it for and doing it with, is to, when they see a need, they do what they need to do to make it be met. And a lot of times there's classroom supplies that are needed or missing, and they come out of their own pocket, teachers, to do that. I've learned that y'all have come up with a solution for that. Could you talk more about that?
She set money, at the beginning of the year, she set money aside that for sure we're going to hold this much. So at the end of the year, we have enough supplies for each student. So strategic way of spending.
Yeah.
And she spends.
I do.
But she
for kids.
It's all for kids. So she says we're going to make sure that they have these teachers have at least a class. What is a class set of each? Supply class set of colors, class set of markers, class set of notebooks or composition books, and that she did that. So, it worked out really well.
So now teachers are empowered to be able to give the kids supplies as they need them, and now they don't have to directly come out of pocket. Because of that, as a result of that. And I think that from a teacher standpoint, they feel felt. Like you actually care.
It's a struggle.
Because we're going to do it, but you're making it to where we don't have to do that, because you actually see that there are some needs here. And the Principal Atnip, you are making sure, with the support that you have, that the teachers are aided with those needs and are left alone to do that. So that's a big hand clap, and to you and the team for putting that together. There's even a supply room. I've heard.
Dianna,
The Dianna is.
Yes.
That's one of her projects.
That's my project. That's my project this year, to have a supply room that's fully stocked at all times. So that way, if someone needs a pencil right then and there, they're getting that pencil right then and there.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, I was just blown away. I wanted to mention that because in our discovery and conversation, that really blessed our hearts. Me and my wife, Pastor Joanne, as we were hearing you guys and listening to the amazing things that are going on in South Waco Elementary. Another thing that we discovered is transportation. Yes. Can y'all talk to us about that discovery we had when we conversated with y'all?
So Waco ISD has taken over their own transportation department. So we used to kind of outsource it to a company.
Okay.
And that created a lot of issues, just because if we needed to change a route, or if we had a kid that needed busing that day or things like that, it really couldn't happen. Also, buses running late. I know some of the middle schools said they were there till 6:30 waiting for a bus to come. So when Waco IC took over that and started doing it in-house, it really allowed the district and then our campus in turn to be able to serve kids, particularly our highly mobile population, which are kiddos that may not have a home, kiddos that are live in a multifamily household, kiddos that may live in a hotel or motel temporarily.
Staying different places.
Yeah, they're highly mobile, and nothing wrong with that, but we absolutely want to support those families, because the other thing we found was our attendance rate was highly impacted by that, because it's hard to get kiddos to school if we're moving around all the time. And it was challenging to get bus transportation, which is normally the answer to that. If we can't get kids to school, we'll call the bus and the bus will take them. But if they're in a different location almost every day, it can be challenging to organize the busing for that. And so we had several kiddos that were in that situation that were moving quite a bit, and it was a real challenge for us. And so we collaborated with Waco ISD Transportation, and they just made it happen for us.
They set us up a mobile bus.
They did a mini bus if they needed to get a Suburban. They got the kids to and from school for us. Like we had a baby. I saw him today. He registered. I was super excited. I think he had like a 42% attendance rate. It was not that his mama didn't want him to be at school. He wanted to be at school. She wanted to be at school. There was no way to get him there, which is a true barrier. And so we were able to work with the transportation department and get him to school. And we were able to, he was there, I think his second semester attendance rate was like 98%. Like he was there every single day. And he was one of my ones on iReady that his growth, he got his stretch growth. So he grew well over a year.
Wow.
And that's because he was in school, and he was in school because we're able to collaborate with those departments in the bigger Waco ISD to really serve our kids. And of course, the highly mobile department also supported too. And we were able, like that, impacting that piece in an elementary setting is that significantly lowers the risk for dropping out going forward, which is something that we talk about a lot, because the attendance habits and the academic habits, the behavioral habits that kids build in our building, in our elementary building, are oftentimes the core key indicators of if they're going to graduate from one of our high schools, right? Like those habits become ingrained, and we've got to make sure that they know that if they need help getting to school, if they need help academically, if they're feeling a certain way, they can safely ask us for help, and that we are a community support that is there to provide that for them. And we don't mind at all. We want to.
It's so good to hear that WISD and all the hard work that has been done, that is being done, is able to create a system that empowers you, from principal on down at the school, to be able to utilize those like transportation opportunities to help the kids, because obviously that was created because there's a known it's known that is what the kids are needing. We have kids that are going from place to place, that are displaced, that in essence are homeless because of that. They don't have a place they can call their own, and the school system understands that and is putting things together locally to make sure that can be aided. And hats off to you, Principal Atnip, and the staff, and everybody working together to make sure that our kids that are in those situations can still be educated, and not just being educated, but can be fed, taken care of, and even provided transportation for. So thank y'all for all that hard work that y'all have done and are doing, and that's exciting to know. What can South Waco look forward to this year?
A lot of transfers. That's what I'm hoping for. Everybody's always saying we're going to, we want to transfer to another school. Okay. No, I'm looking forward to them coming and say, the kids that are zoned for another campus want to come to our school.
And that's what's happening.
And
we've had a increase
of transfers.
Yeah.
Really?
And I want that whole list,
Yeah.
list. Let's see, the whole list like they do at the Montessori schools.
Yes,
Where,
yeah.
no, this is we're going to have a list the same way where they want to move into our school.
Amen.
That is our
We have
goal.
Yeah, we have
Or my goal.
Yeah, we are an incredible place to be. We have areas we need to grow, and
Sure.
and everyone does. Ours sometimes in certain areas the gaps are a little bigger, and we are closing them.
And we are improving in everything.
We are improving.
We look at
we
we are improving. We're not
We are.
that A, but we have improved. We're showing growth.
We are showing
So,
growth. Yeah.
That tells you right there.
Yeah. So it's exciting. We're increasing the number of kids that are on level, and so that's been really exciting to see. And just looking at it from an achievement lens, our numbers look low. But whenever we ran the numbers on our iReady data, yes, the number of on level is technically low. But if you look at it from a perspective of where we were at the beginning of the year, if you look at a percent increase, which is of what we had, what percentage increase, we've more than doubled. We've had 144% increase in on-level reading and a 1,900% increase in on-level math. When we started the year, we didn't have very many kids on level in math, and we really attacked that problem. And my teachers really worked, and we were able to produce 20 more students that are on level. That's a whole class. And that's why when my staff come back, I have a whole sheet that we made that has all of our celebrations, because that's the story we're going to tell.
There you go.
That's what we want people to know. But yeah, I love the thought of families and teachers, because we have teachers that chose to stay, and then also with us combining with Alta Vista, we had teachers that chose to come to our campus. And now we have families choosing to come to South Waco, which is huge. That speaks volumes about the culture and what my staff is doing for kids, and how the community perception is slowly but surely starting to shift, because our babies come home for the most part happy. Our halls are quiet. We have this beautiful new building with all of these incredible new collaboration spaces. We have 5 play areas, a tricycle track. The trikes are big enough, and I've raced kids on them. I haven't won yet, but I have raced some children on the tricycles on the track. But the fact that people are choosing our campus, I always thank people for choosing South Waco, because that's what they're doing. They're choosing our kids. They're choosing us. They're choosing that community to serve, and it's such an incredible community to get to serve.
Absolutely. We had an opportunity to get the little tour when we went over there, and that is exciting, and it was really neat to see the transformation that's been taking place there. But you are wowed in a sense when you walk in there and see all the new part of the facility and stuff, and even the part that's been renovated and is being renovated to match the new facility. It's really neat to know that our kids in South Waco Elementary are going to be able to enjoy such an amazing place. But what's even more exciting is the culture that has been created there, and the numbers. These are real numbers. Yeah. It's not just you walking around smiling and offering a smile. It starts there,
right,
but it doesn't end there.
Right.
And there's a lot of hard work that everyone there is doing to make sure that those numbers are ticking up, and they are. And you're blowing stuff out the water, and that is so encouraging, because I agree with you. Being a leader here in the community, I'll be honest, there has been folks that, for one reason or another, they look down on South Waco Elementary. And I'll tell you what, a person that's from South Waco, I don't take that lightly, you know. Like, man, I'm proud to be from South Waco, and you know, everybody has room for improvement, and I am grateful and glad that we're at a time right now where it is improving and doing well, and to witness it and see it. What a great time that we're in, and our community deserves to hear about this, and deserves to celebrate together. We want to celebrate this. We want to congratulate you guys and everyone that y'all represent from South Waco Elementary, including our babies there, the kiddos, you know. We want to congratulate them and thank them, and want to think of creative and healthy ways to celebrate and be festive about that. And you're creating a culture that we want to get behind. We want to get behind that culture. And again, what's celebrated is repeated. We don't need more bad news. We need more good news. And how exciting it is to not have to stretch out any truth or try to fabricate anything, but just simply shine light on what already is there and what is happening. We want that to grow, and we want to get behind South Waco Elementary to make sure that it in fact does that.
Yeah.
All right, Principal Atnip, we also discovered in a conversation that there had even been opportunities to help the kids with getting home. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So whenever we came on, one of the kind of big opportunities was safely getting babies home if they were walking. And we had, there were some instances where we knew we had room for improvement. So some of our staff, myself, we even took it upon ourselves to walk kids to their houses or to their apartments or wherever they needed to be to make sure that they got home safe, to make sure that there was an adult with them, getting them there safe and making sure that they weren't having too much fun. But yeah, it's just that kind of thing is what you'll find every day, all day in the building. My staff is willing to go above and beyond, be creative, think outside the mold to make sure that our kids are safe and that our kids have what they need. And then also willing to take feedback from parents or from students on, hey, this wasn't safe. What can we do to fix it?
Wow.
And we're going to fix it because we're not perfect. I under no circumstance say we're batting 100 on anything. I don't think anyone is, but what I will say is, between me, my assistant principal, my front office clerk, Dianna, all of us, we are willing to listen to feedback from the community, feedback from parents, and we're willing to make changes that we need to, because at the end of the day, we are stewards of the community's resources, and we're trusted with the most valuable asset of the community, which is the children, the future of what this community and this world is going to look like. And so we definitely are open to hearing that feedback and willing to change and willing to be creative, do whatever we have to do to make sure that our parents feel comfortable sending their kids to school. And we've had a reduction in parent complaints at both local and campus levels as well, which is key. Because again, I always tell everybody, I tell my parents too, I'm a mom first. I have 2 kids, and they, I get it. It's like sending your whole heart out of your body to somewhere, and you don't know everybody in the building. It's scary. So we love our kids, we love our parents, and we want to make sure that they feel safe sending their kids to school.
Absolutely. What are some things that's coming up that the community can be aware about that y'd like to let the community know about?
Yeah. We're hosting a block party on August 7th.
All right.
So we'll still be in the process of moving into our new building. So it won't be classroom tours just yet, but we'll have our beautiful new cafeteria open, our beautiful new gym. We're going to have free food. What else?
The Baylor basketball
Baylor
coming over.
Yes, the Lady Bears are going to be there to play
Oh, wow.
basketball with our kiddos in the new gym. I hope they don't dunk on them, but they might. We don't know.
They're gonna love our gym.
Yeah, and then we're gonna have food, free prizes,
and then later on, is it in September? We're gonna have the open house.
Yeah,
where everyone can come in and actually see the building at a whole, and not
rooms. Yeah,
just the cafeteria at this point right now, or the front office.
Because we'll have a chance to have really moved in. So, yeah, it's gonna be August 7th from 5 to 7. Good music, good free food, games. We've got giant yard games to play. The Lady Bears basketball team, prizes, community partners coming in, and a chance to meet the teacher. So
awesome. Well, that sounds like fun. Thank you for sharing those dates and giving us an opportunity to be able to engage with you guys when appropriate. So, all right. How about the retention rate? Talk to us about that.
So staff retention rate, when we got in, turnover was high, and we had about 45% of the staff had stayed. So so over half had left, which was a lot of hiring that we did. But as we hired, we made sure that we were intentional about who we hired, because we're talking about kids.
Okay.
I'm not just gonna hire anybody to be with my babies. So I think that has a big deal with how much we've retained too, because we hired the right people for the right spots.
Wow.
Yeah. And so last year the whole staff retention was at 45, and this year it is at 85. So we have, that's the whole staff. And then our classroom teachers is what we're really proud of. The classroom teacher retention was 35. So we had of the all staff. So that's paraprofessional, special education. When I say class, classroom, general education, my pre-KK 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that have a classroom of 20 babies.
Yeah.
That are with them all day. We had about 60% of them had left, if not maybe a little more. And this year we retained 90. So we had one general education classroom teacher leave. All of the rest of them chose to stay for our babies. And that's so huge, because when you think about kids and what we know about kids, they don't like change. They like routine. They like the same, they like predictability. And so if a kid is walking into school every single year and it's completely new faces, it's a new principal, it's all new teachers, that is not a stable environment for them. And no matter how great we make it, if it's new stuff every single year, it's still not a stable environment. And so the fact that my babies that were in 4th grade last year, if they had a really good connection with their teacher's still there, right? That's huge. We have built-in mentorship all over the building now, because everybody has at least one person they've been in their class for a whole year.
Right.
Wow. So when you really think about the impact of that on academics and social, emotional health of our babies, it's huge. And increasing that classroom teacher retention rate was really a huge focus, particularly that group, for 2 reasons. Because of that, because of the benefit for our kids and our community, and because we're in a teacher shortage. So the simple fact of the matter is that if they leave, there is not someone out there that can take their place. Yeah, they are truly right now irreplaceable. I'm not right now. They've always been irreplaceable, but right now, very literally, our classroom teachers are irreplaceable. And so the fact that they chose to stay is so huge. They chose our kids. And that's what I always want to highlight for them is thank you for choosing our kids.
Right. Yeah. Wow. Well, that's a great news to hear and worthy to be celebrated as well. For people that are about the numbers, these are some numbers to be about right here. So great stuff. Thank y'all so much for the hard work y'all do again. Anything else y'all want to let the community know out there?
Come see us.
Yeah, come see us.
When we're open and ready to go, come see us.
Yes, come see the new building. Come meet some of our amazing staff. And just if you want to volunteer, sign up. And we have lots of mentorship programs going on. We're welcoming in book clubs this year. I did want to say one exciting thing we're doing. We are opening up lunches for parents to come this year. So it hasn't been open since COVID, but this year we've got a schedule, and we are transforming our stage when obviously we're not going to be using it during the day. We're transforming our stage into a parent cafe. So it's going to have booths. Wow. It's going to have, it's going to be a full restaurant experience. So we want our parents in the building. We want you guys to come eat with your kiddos. And so we are going to have Spartan Parent Cafe on the stage for we'll send out a schedule soon at Meet the Teacher. But yeah, that's something super exciting, and we want parents in our building.
Awesome. About how many kids, I forgot to ask, will now, because of the expansion, will y'all possibly have?
We're almost at 600 right now.
600.
Yeah. With the transfer, our enrollment is up, which is really exciting.
And what was it before, just so people can understand?
It was 480.
480. Yeah. Now we're up to 600.
Yeah.
Well,
and still flowing in. Yeah, because we're just like right in the middle of it. We're in the middle of enrollment right now, so we're still getting people enrolled. So it's really exciting.
And when does school actually start?
August 13th.
Yes, August 13th.
13th.
Yeah.
Well, we'll definitely be around to support, and we're excited. We'll be praying for y'all's opening there, and for all the faculty, staff, and the kiddos around there, the parents, the families represented, and we're here to cheer you on, and thank y'all for everything that y'all do, and please reach out and let us know if y'all need anything. What can they contact you guys if they want to know about anything?
254. They can call the school. Or email us. Shoot us an email.
Okay.
There's also
amy.atnip@wacoisd.org is my email.
All right.
First.last@wacoisd.org.
And if there's parents of our school that is Parent Square, make sure they sign up for Parent Square so we can communicate back and forth.
There you go. Shout out to all the parents out there. Tell your kiddos to be excited. Show them this. Yeah. And we'll talk to y'all later.